Okay, in this video, I'm going to fire up the Apple iPad 2 for the very first time. Now, I did an unboxing on this device, so you can check that out. There's going to be a link at the end of this video. I will be doing a head-to-head with this device and the Motorola Xoom tablet, so stay tuned for that. Now, I haven't charged this, I haven't plugged it in or anything. I just unboxed it, and I want to fire it up and see what I'm greeted with for the very first time. So I'm just going to, you see right here the power button. I'm going to hold that and turn it on, and you'll see what I see here. Get a little Apple logo there. Okay, and the first thing it wants me to do is plug it into my computer to sync with iTunes. And let's see if the display, there we go. Okay, so that's what you're greeted with when you turn it on for the first time. It looks like the battery has a near full charge here. Put it back there. Nearly full charge up there. So that is what you have to do with the iPad. For the first time. You actually have to plug it into a computer for the first time. If you watch my video on the Motorola Xoom, you don't have to do that. It just runs independently. In fact, I've never connected it to my computer. But this I'm going to have to plug in, so I'm going to do that right now, and I'll bring you with me. Okay, here we go. I have my iTunes fired up on my computer here. And I just want to do a quick test here. I have an older cord. This was to an iPod 5th generation, I believe. The one that I currently have is my music device that I listen to all my music and podcasts on. I want to see if this cord works on the iPad 2. If not, it's not a big deal. I have the new cord, but I just want to do it as a quick test. So let me plug it in down here. All right, there we go. And I'm going to plug it into the computer and see if this cord will work and not use the new cord. And I'll try and get the screen in here so you can see what happens when you plug it in for the first time. So let's see. Alright, it says plug into iTunes. I'm going to plug the USB cord into my computer. And let's see. Okay. Okay, now if you can see on the screen there, I'll try and hold this up, see if anything happens on the iPad. But on my screen here, which is a 27-inch LCD screen, on my PC build, I have a whole set of videos on that if you're interested. Check them out on my channel. So that's why it looks so giant next to the iPad here. But anyway, on the screen here it says, welcome to your new iPad. Let's get started. Number 1, register your iPad. Register your iPad to stay up to date with important information about your new iPad and get faster access to customer support. Number 2, set up your iTunes Store account. Preview and download your favorites instantly, day or night, where applicable. So you can either register later or continue. I'm going to see if I can register later on this. I need a third hand to hold everything up here. And use the mouse too. Okay. I'm going to register later. And here we go. Free Find My iPad. Set up Find My iPad for free so you can locate your device if you lose it. Remotely lock the screen or wipe its data. You can also find your iPhone or iPod Touch. That's actually a really cool feature, and it's one of the pluses of this device. We're not going to set that up. We're going to hit Not Now. And then you have an iPad software license agreement. And basically you can't use it unless you check that you agree to it. So of course I'm going to agree to it. And let's see, the name of the iPad, Guest's iPad. I'm on my Guest's account on my computer, so we're going to use that. Automatically sync songs and videos to my iPad. I'm not going to click that because I have probably well over 64 gigabytes, which is the biggest capacity on this device here, but I have more songs and videos and stuff like that on my iTunes than that. So we're not going to automatically sync anything and automatically sync apps to my iPad. I'll unclick that too. I'll hit done. There we go. Sync in progress, if you can see that on the iPad. Okay, good. There's no sync to be done, which is what I wanted. And the screen just went to sleep there. But here, I think we might be done because it says iPad sync is complete. Okay to disconnect. So what we're going to do now that we've attached the iPad to the computer, I'm going to detach it and go back into the other room where you can actually see this better and you don't have a giant screen behind it. So let's go into the other room. Okay, we're back in the other room and let's see the iPad now that we can actually use it. Okay, this is the first screen you see. You have your slide to unlock down here, so I'm going to slide it here. And this is what I'm greeted with. I have these apps are on the machine itself when I start. Calendar, contacts, notes, maps, videos, YouTube, iTunes, App Store, Game Center, FaceTime, camera, photo booth, and settings. And down here I have Safari, Mail, Photos, and iPod. Let's check out iPod. And basically that shows what is in your iTunes library. I didn't sync anything to this device from my iTunes library. I just used it to set the device up. Now that's one of the things that makes this device not really out of the box, that you can use it as a laptop replacement per se, because you actually have to have some sort of other computer to actually start it up with. And I guess they do that to make sure that you have an iTunes account. It would be nice to see them be able to do that wirelessly, just straight from the device itself. You'd be able to set up, sync it up with your iTunes account. That's one thing to note on here. I know that you can have it set up in the Apple Store if you do buy it in the Apple Store. This device was not purchased in an Apple Store. It was purchased from Target. So they don't do any setting up. So basically you're on your own for that. So that makes it pretty much not a standalone device in and of itself. That's one of the first things I've noticed. One other thing to note, I never owned the original iPad, so this is all new to me. Okay, now I'm just going to hit the home button down here and it brings back all the apps, and there are no other apps on the device here. If you go and swipe to the right, you get a search iPad screen here. So you can search pretty much, I would imagine, whatever's on the iPad itself. We're just going to hit Maps, and you get Maps, then search the web and search Wikipedia. Okay, I entered in the wireless information so I could hook up the iPad to my Wi-Fi in the house, and we're going to try out Safari down here, which is the web browser. And I'll bring it up here, and let's see what we could type in here. YouTube. Bring up YouTube here, and then let's see if we can bring up my channel over here. And there are a bunch of my videos up there. And the one thing about iOS is that you have the bounce when you scroll. So when you meet the bottom of the screen or the bottom of your window here, you can pull it up and you see there's a texture behind there. It looks like some sort of fabric texture. But it's sort of a nice little graphical representation of, when you meet the end of a window. That's one of the hallmarks of iOS. But that's the web browser here. Okay, one thing to note on this is that Safari, which is the default browser, which is the browser you're looking at right now, does not have tabbed browsing on it. So if you want to keep this website and look at a different website, you go to the third graphic up here, and that will allow you to pull up a new page. You just click on it, and then you have a new page, and if you wanted to, you could look up the iPad 2 camera on this, and defaults to Google here. So, and if you want to go back to the other web page you were looking at, just click that right there, and then you can go back here, or if you want, you can go to a new page and look up something different. So it's a little different than having tabbed browsing. It's more of a mobile browsing experience, and the iPad does not support Flash. That's one thing to note as well. So that's pretty much an overview of firing up the device for the first time. My next video is going to be the head-to-head with the Motorola Xoom tablet. I'm going to go spec for spec on each machine and give you the information that you need to decide for yourself what is a better tablet for you. I'm going to give my opinions. I'm going to give some facts on which device has pros over the other machine, and then I'm just going to leave it up to you, and you can decide for yourself what's best for you. But that does it for this video. I will see you next time.